Um, Sam Navarro is from Gardner Coatings and Incorporated, I'm sorry, located at 2433 Reed Boulevard in Pearland. He is going to do our presentation today. I'm sorry, Sam, I don't have a bio on you to kind of introduce you, but I will say that Sam is recently recovering from COVID and seems to be doing real good. And we sure appreciate him making time to update us on Gardner Coating. So, Sam, I will turn the presentation over to you.
Sure. So just a quick background on me. I have been in the paints and coatings business since I was 18 years old, believe it or not. I started off as a delivery driver for Sherwin-Williams Paint Company and worked my way up and ended up getting into the application side of the business. And so, let's just say that that's pretty much all I know these days is paint and coatings. So I came to Gardner October 26th was my first day last year. The new owner and president is Matt Stevenson. He bought the company from George Gardner. I know that several of you guys knew George. Unfortunately, George got sick and passed away. Matt and George had an agreement with, together on how they were going to transition the company. And so part of bringing Kelly back is actually, to get the management team squared away for the next 98 years in business, right? And so we're really happy to have Kelly. This presentation here, I'll keep it real short and sweet. I'll give you a little background on who we are, what we do, and what we're looking to do in the future here soon. And I will say that I've been working closely with Carol and with Brian Malone on some expansion opportunities that we have that would bring extra jobs here to the city of Pearland. So we'll go ahead and get started. So our mission is to empower employees at every level of the organization to be the best in this industry. The Houston Metroplex is a $300 million a year industrial coatings business, and that's just inside of the Beltway. So there's a tremendous amount of opportunity here. There's a lot of other competitors. We do stand out from those guys, and a lot of it, you'll see why, is our passion for excellence and for lifting the craftsmen and the actual folks that are doing the work. So just a quick overview on who FW Gardner was and who we are today. FW Gardner was established in 1923. They actually started as a tool sales company. And then during the Depression, they started thinking outside of the box and started renting tools out. And then they figured, why not start using our own tools? So they started blasting and coating. In the 50s, they really pioneered the thermal spray aluminum application, and they were doing rockets, and they were doing a lot of work for the United States government. In the late 90s, George Gardner sold the rental tool division away, and he sold the thermal spray division. And then he opened up Gardner Coatings here in Pearland in 2000. I've been in the paint business for 20 years, and I can tell you that pretty much my entire career, I've heard that Gardner Coatings is the most specialized applicator in the country. And when other companies say that they can't do it or they're not looking to do that sort of work, that's where we actually shine. I know that there are several projects in here that are shipping overseas. So a lot of the equipment that we coat here is for specialty applications around the world. This is our new facility here. Right now we operate on 26,000 square feet. You can see the three different production buildings there. So in this facility, we have 26,000 square feet of production space. We've got indoor blasting capabilities. All of our painting is done in 5 paint booths that all have their own air scrubbers. We try to be as least impactful towards the environment. That is one of the things that separates us from a lot of our competition. When others are painting underneath metal roofs and out in the open, we are going that extra step and really trying to take care of the environment. We are able to operate 24 hours a day because our facility is indoor and climate controlled. As a matter of fact, right now we are lucky, we're very blessed. We worked the last 21 days straight with no days off. We've made it through COVID without having to lay off a ton of folks. So we've stayed strong through this entire pandemic, and we see things picking up. So it's starting to look pretty nice here. We currently sit on 10 acres. These are the industrial segments that we service. So the road trailers and ISO containers, you see the road trailers going down the highway everywhere. They're hauling some of the most deadly chemicals and acids in the world. We are one of the very few applicators in the country that are certified to actually apply these linings. We're the only certified applicator for a product called Sakafin from Germany. We're the only applicator in the entire country. And that's right here in Pearland. And you know, I've had this conversation with Carol and with Brian is we're doing all these projects, we're doing all this, we're bringing in all this unique work, and not a lot of folks who live and work in Pearland know that we're here and understand what we do. We're not a traditional blast and paint shop. We are experts at what we do, and we have what I consider the best craftsmen in the industry. Valves and actuation, heat exchangers. We've partnered with Brass here in Pearland. They're real good customers of ours. Pump manufacturers, and then we just launched our turnaround services. So our turnaround services group is something that I'm really proud of. We actually have a crew that's on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And we're capable of driving our trucks to any facility, picking up an asset, bringing it back to the shop. And what the service does is it gives us 24-hour attention to that asset until it's returned to an owner. So if Dow Chemical during the freeze, I don't know if you guys are aware, but Dow and Ineos and Ascend and all of these other companies that make the resins that go into paints, that go into a lot of the stuff that we use daily, experienced a lot of damage. And so they are in turnaround mode right now where time is of the essence. So launching this service has really opened up a whole nother realm of business for us. So we're really excited about that. The commercial markets, I don't know if anyone's ever seen this statue here or these statues, but you know, we actually blasted those. And so when you look around at some of the architectural finishes, we talked about traveling, the big steel structure that's at the entrance of Intercontinental Airport that every traveler sees, that was done right here in Pearland. A lot of the artwork that's done that you see like this here, that's done right here in Pearland. You know, where the commercial market for us is on aluminum extrusions, so door frames, window frames, roll-up garage doors, and this will be part of our expansion plan that I'll hit on in a minute. Hospitals, we're able to go into hospitals and do work on their chillers. Campuses, you know, multiple facilities. If you look at you know, a large college campus, they're going to have chillers, they're going to have piping, they're going to have potable water tanks. We're able to go in there and we're able to blast and coat those assets without, you know, making a lot of noise or God forbid, you know, putting any fumes into a hospital. So we have the equipment and we have the trained craftsmen to do that work. And this is what's really different. So Matt and I have both been in the industry for over 20 years. There's a certification called NACE. The highest level you can get is NACE 3. Both Matt and I are NACE 3 inspectors. We have a total of 5 NACE inspectors here on staff. Again, I pretty much only know the paint industry, and I can tell you that as far as I know, we are the only company whose president and vice president are NACE 3 coatings inspectors. So this is all we do, and we really are dedicated and passionate for safety, quality, and just innovation in the industry. And here's where we're looking to kind of partner with the community. So what we'd like to do is, and I spoke to a couple of schools that Carol put me in touch with, is we'd like to start doing an in-house trade program where we could bring in high school juniors and seniors, and possibly partner with some of the local colleges, because not everybody, you know, ends up being a welder, or not everybody ends up being an engineer. There's a very good living that can be made in the coatings business. So we've worked with a couple of folks, and if any of you that are in the education realm would like to discuss this further, I think that this is a really good opportunity for us to keep local Pearland young men and women here and give them a good paying job. And I can tell you that the training program that we've put together starts at the very beginning, and we're looking to get folks with TWIC cards and all of their safety stuff. And so I think that this is a really good opportunity for the local community. Currently working with Brian on a proposed 80,000 square foot automated coatings line. This will be the most up-to-date technology-filled automated coatings line in the country. We actually traveled to Florida 2 weeks ago to go and see one of these lines. It was very impressive. I think that what we have in mind would surpass that as far as technology goes, but this will bring 20 to 30 high-paying jobs to the city of Pearland. We're really excited about it, and it will operate again 24 hours a day, and it will not impact the environment at all. And then finally, we're looking to add our own non-destructive testing here. So a lot of times when we coat a valve or an asset, it ends up going to getting tested. We're looking to bring that. So if we're able to implement this, we're looking to bring another 3 to 7 pretty good high-paying jobs here at Pearland as well. We have the facility for it already. We're going to retrofit a garage into this space. It's about 2,000 square feet, so that should be good right there. And that's pretty much, you know, a quick glance at who we are, what we do, and where we're going. We do practice. I know Kevin said that he wasn't 100% comfortable with going to a lot of, you know, bigger meetings. We do practice some pretty stringent COVID rules here. Again, having it and going to the hospital gave me a whole new respect for it. If anybody would like to visit, we have a full-time disinfectant crew here that goes around disinfecting all day long. We do wear masks, we're socially distanced no matter what. All of our craftsmen have to wear PPE anyway. So if anyone wants to come by, please just let me know. And that's all I got.
Hey, Sam, this is Gary. First of all, welcome back, Kelly. It's good seeing you again. And number two, I think George would really be proud, you know, of the progress that you guys have taken Gartner Coatings to. One of my questions is, what is the largest? I didn't get to see the size of the oven, you know, for the when you do powder coating. What is the largest, one of the largest objects you can put in there?
That oven's 20 by 40, so it's rather large. But you know, depending on what it is, if it's a like an internal lining, we actually have portable heaters that can move in, and we can actually heat tanks up. So just depending on the asset, we should have the space.
Sam, when will you start hiring for the new positions?
So we just brought Kelly on board. You know, as soon as we determine this new facility, we're going to go ahead and start bringing people in for it, because there's going to be, what we learned in Florida is, you know, some positions that we weren't necessarily expecting that we need to hire. We're going to have to hire a full-time chemist. And you know, so it kind of expanded what we're looking to hire. So as soon as we get the green light on building this and actually break ground is when we start hiring and really starting to get serious about bringing people on board. But we're hiring right now. We're actually looking for an entry-level estimator. And so, you know, again, we've been really blessed at the amount of work that we've been able to pick up through COVID and into 2021. So we're still looking to grow right now.
Great.
Are you hiring out in your shop? Are you doing, I saw you're going to start some NDT. Are you not doing, you're sending all your non-destructive out for testing now?
Correct.
Would that be part of your new plans to expand, to put in
Yeah,
an
we're
NDT
start
lab?
doing. So one of the things that we did is, and I didn't want to go on a big marketing spiel with you guys, but we actually broke the company up into 3 different markets. So we have Gardner Coatings, which is the industrial market, which we currently serve. And we have Gardner Finishes, which is the architectural group. So they're going to do all of the extruded aluminum. This is the new facility that we're talking about building. And some of the work inside of, colleges or hospitals, any kind of facilities like that. And then there'll be Gardner Consulting, and Gardner Consulting will do the NDT work, and Gardner Consulting will be able, so with the NACE certifications that we have, we're actually able to go in and write coding specifications and do failure analysis on coatings. And so we're just looking to kind of take that to the next level, and bringing in some NDT would be one of those segments that we'd like to get into. One of the things is we'd rather go in slowly with what we know really well, which is the coatings, failure analysis, and all of that, and start implementing in the NDT. But we have the space for it.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Hey, Sam, do y'all know, do you know Walter Conrad with Rolex Shutter?
I believe that Matt does, yes.
He does a ton of powder coating for all of the shutters, but I don't know if it's an extrusion process that he gets his materials. But I was with Walter, I guess 2 months ago, and he actually forms out a ton of powder coating. But I don't know the process that y'all would have. It might come with the new line that you're going to be developing. So I'll talk to Walter about you guys. I'll try to put y'all together.
Yeah, definitely. So I believe that Matt's already talked to him, and Matt understands that that's something that we could pick up rather quickly. I can tell you that if this facility, if we can keep it going and get it to where we expect, the Houston market's a $200 million revenue stream in just aluminum.
All right. Any other questions? Don't see any. Sam, that was an excellent presentation. I appreciate that.
Yep. Thank y'all very much.
Okay, Carol, I will say, do we have enough time to go around and talk about issues or challenging that our businesses are finding out in the workplace?
Sure, we have about 8 minutes, and we'll go over the events for the coming month, and we'll be done.
Okay. Well, right now, is anybody seeing any issues? Well, let me rephrase that. Maybe we can just talk about, because it looks like the state is reopening, for lack of a better word. I think reopening means a lot of different things to a lot of different peoples, a lot of different companies. But when we reopen, what do you think is going to be the one thing that good for our business and industry that's going to come out of this environment we just went through with the pandemic? And I'll start it off because I'm a little worried that people are getting comfortable with being isolated. But I think from our business or institution thing, I think that the use of some telecommuting is going to be a good thing. I think that there'll be some efficiencies that businesses can gain from being forced into this type of environment. And I know the efficiency. So I think that I think it's kind of good news and bad news. Well, I think that Zoom has given us some types of efficiencies. Unfortunately, the bad news is I think that Zoom's going to stick around, or whatever you want to Zoom, WebEx, all of those. But I think it's going to stick around for the rest of our lives, to be honest with you. I think everybody is so comfortable with this kind of meeting format that there'll be bits and pieces of it. Does anybody else, what else do you think is going to be good coming out? Because I think we're seeing more and more reopening. I'm not sure what reopening fully means, but I know from a business point, it certainly is. And I know from an educational point, we're looking to this fall to kind of going back to, if you want to say, some kind of normal with a lot more on-campus stuff.
I'll reiterate, Gardner Coatings is a great example of businesses and business expansion right now. And I know, you know, the pandemic's been detrimental to, you know, to the hospitality industry, but you know, in the professional industry, in the service industry, and even in the construction industry, things are growing. And unfortunately, they take hands-on people, and Zoom is not necessarily in their realm. You know, they need people there to do the actual work, to do the actual testing. Now they might learn the testing and certifications online. That's one thing, you know, but they need people there to actually do it. So, you know, I'm hoping that the workforce team here can create enough potential employment opportunities for those people out there that know about it to, to support our local industries.
Anybody else want to share an idea or comment?
Yeah, Kevin, just to piggyback on what you were saying, we're looking forward to opening up more in the fall. We're kind of continuing the same teaching formats over the summer, but we're gradually getting back more on campus and looking forward to having a more normal setting. Of course, there's still going to be a little bit of limitations. We don't want to get too comfortable because there's still so much unknown and unexpected. But I do believe that there were some, positive, unexpected positives that came out of COVID, in the sense that we're now prepared for almost any emergency, where we can continue the education for the students. Our faculty have been incredible on thinking outside of the box to help, especially in healthcare. One thing I worry about, Kevin, as you were saying, how we're getting a little bit more comfortable with this type of format. Speaking from my former profession as being a chiropractor, we've become a lot more sedentary. We don't move as much anymore because we're stuck in our house. We don't have that many steps to get anymore. So I think, people, there's been an awakening, at least on maybe some nutrition and things we need to do hygiene wise to stay healthy. But I worry that if we do remain too sedentary, that we're going to have some other health issues down the road, chronic wise, that people need to be concerned about with moving and staying healthy personally. But I look forward to hopefully things getting back to normal soon. I'll tell you though, when you're out and about and someone coughs or sneezes now, it's a whole nother. I didn't like it in the first place if someone didn't cover, but now it's like, oh, you take total offense.
Yeah, you make some good points. Anybody else have a comment or idea?
I just look forward to the freedom of movement, just getting out of that feeling locked up mode, but and just fresh air. And do we not? I'll be glad when we just know that what we're going to do and not have that seesaw effect of should we not.
Okay, well, that's the perfect segue for me, Carol, into our next agenda item, and that deals with our next meeting next week. So do we want to do a hybrid meeting where we do meet in person and Zoom, or have the ability to come in person?
Brian, I'll leave that up to you. You'll be the program. We've got the technology here to do a hybrid if you wish.
Yeah, I would imagine at least for that initial meeting with the workforce folks that they will probably do a Zoom type meeting. One of the groups is up in Indiana and the other is in Austin. So, and they're obviously in different environments than what we are in the Houston area. So I would imagine that initial meeting would be a Zoom type, at least from the presentation point on their end.
Okay.
So we'll plan on a Zoom meeting one to April, and then maybe look to the next one for the hybrid. Is that right, Carol?
We can do that. I mean, that's up to the committee. I just feel like we've lost some continuity with, maybe people are just zoomed out, but I don't know if it would change if we had a hybrid. But I won't use any brain cells on it till next month.
How many people would show up to a hybrid meeting besides me?
Oh, I will in April. I'll have my second shot next week, so I'm going to feel by the middle of April, I think I might feel a lot better. So, but no, I need to, I think it's kind of like the pool when, if you have a pool or you're looking to jump in the pool and it's not quite summer yet and you're not really sure, you know, the best thing to do is jump in, because if you only barely put your foot in, it's going to feel really cold. So I don't know. Sooner or later, we're all going to have to jump in. I don't know how we determine that time, but
Well, I'll place it on the agenda next month, but next month will be Zoom and then we'll go from there.
That's what you have toes for, Kevin.
yeah, no, well, my
Test the
toes
water.
make everything feel cold. My pool, I never get in my pool. As I like to call it, it's $30,000 worth of landscaping. Oh,
So the upcoming meetings are on the last page of your packet, so you can look at that. Be sure and support our local businesses, shop local, eat local, drink local.
and I think you want to talk real quickly about some chamber dates, or is that?
I just referred to that last page. You can just go there and look at that.
Okay.
Our membership luncheon is at the Hilton Garden Inn on Thursday, April 15th, and it's going to be on cybersecurity. And then First Fridays is going to be May 7th. Oh, we're having a pop-up event here at the Chamber on April the 9th. It's a pop-up market for people to come and shop from 10 to 2 on the 9th. We're going to see how that goes because we don't have a business showcase this year. So we're going to try something new, see if it works. If it does, we'll have pop-ups in various parts of the city. And it's all to promote local commerce.
All right. Does anybody else have anything, any other good for the order? Otherwise, we will, I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
And a second, is there Gary?
Craig, we got
Second.
Craig.
Craig, okay. I'll call all those in favor of adjourning, and we'll see you in a month. Raise your hand.
Thank you very much.
Bye, y'all.
Y'all have a good day, and thanks again, Sam, for the presentation.
Thank you, Sam.
Good
No
job.
problem. Thank you, guys.